So guys, before we wrap up, I'm going to ask Mercedes two questions that I ask all my guests. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going to, you were going to go in a little time machine and we're going to go back in time. So in that time machine, what is the one thing that you would do differently?
I don't think I would do anything different. I think everything that I have done, I mean, and you mentioned that you were trying to take these series, the series 7 tests, and you were trying to be, I mean, that to me, when I graduated from high school, I initially went into college as a pre-med major. I wanted to be a doctor. I would have been a horrible doctor. I'm so glad. So I started taking classes and I realized this is not for me. And the frequencies weren't vibing. And ever since then, I realized now I need to go with my calling. And it was always journalism, 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 right? Always, 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 always there. And I think you kind of, latch on to these, unrealistic expectations that people have of you and that you have of yourself too, because it would have been amazing to be a doctor, right? But I don't know that I would have been able to have the incredible life that I have had if I had gone into a different, into that. So I don't think I would do anything differently. When I dropped out of college because I was like, I can't do pre-med. I cannot. I'm dying. I'm going to die here in these books, in chemistry, in anatomy, although I loved anatomy, but I couldn't do it. And I dropped out of college. Right. So, and it all led me when I dropped out. I was at a 4-year university. I dropped out to a community college and I took every single journalism class they had. And now I teach at that college. I teach there as a professor. Yeah. So, for me, I wouldn't do anything differently. I would continue doing what I did and still continue listening to my intuition is my New Year's resolution and going with what feels right. And if it doesn't feel right, then it's not for me. Um, so yeah, that's my answer.
That's a beautiful answer. You know what? Out of all the guests that I've had so far, you're the only one with that answer. And that's what I would say too. So, hey, fist pump.
That's why you and I are soul sisters. We
For
get it.
sure,
Hmm.
100%.
Hmm.
And so, okay, staying in that time machine,
Yep.
what is the one piece of advice you would tell your younger self?
Okay. There's a lot of things there. I would tell myself to invest starting from a very young age, invest in the stock market, invest in a Roth IRA. I mean, I started working at the age of 16. And, you don't learn this stuff in school. The only reason I say this is because I've learned it in working in personal finance and being a senior editor for investing for many years. I would tell myself that is one thing that I regret is I wish I had known about a Roth IRA when I was 16, working at In-N-Out Burger, making French fries, getting paid, $20 an hour or something. I could have been retired by now, right? So that is one of those things that for my son, I do have retirement accounts for him. I have a 529 and a UTMA, Unified Trust for Minors account. So I know that has really nothing to do with business, but that is one thing that as a mother, I am imparting my personal finance wisdom on my child. I mean, he's only 1 now, but when he gets older, I
But
will.
you're setting him up for success.
Yes,
And I think
true.
that's so crucial. And here's the thing, no one talks about financial literacy when we need it.
I
It's
know.
when you have nothing and you are
So
probably
true.
nearing retirement age. And what's your fallback? Now it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize when I'm in the golden years, I need to get a part time job while I'm in my full time job. That's when we're supposed to be chilling like a villain.
I know.
But that's really important what you say. And
Yeah.
I've actually been very fortunate to have a sister. Shout out, Sister Marquez Private Wealth. I will not be
Love
on.
Sister
Yes,
Marquez.
she's the bomb. My sister taught me from an early age to be really savvy with finance, and so she is an incredibly successful advisor for Raymond James, Marquez Private Wealth of Raymond James, and I will have her on the show to explore
Yeah.
that more. But
Yeah.
financial literacy is key, and what Mercedes is saying is so true. And even if it's unrelated to what we're talking about today,
Yeah.
that's what you would tell your younger self, and I think that's invaluable because no one tells us that.
Yeah.
No one tells us to save. No one tells us to that your FICO, is very important. So make sure you're not like, straight out of college, like applying for credit cards that's 25% that you're not going to pay back. No
Yeah.
one teaches
Yeah.
those things. Like,
Yeah. I know. I know.
so
One
thank you
one
for
little
doing
like secret tip for mothers, if you do have credit cards, you can actually put your child when they're one on your credit card as an authorized user. So by the time they're 18 and they're ready to get a credit card, buy a car, whatever, they already have 18 years of credit history. Not every credit card company does this. I think American Express does not. You don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly, but one of them does. I think maybe Chase does, or vice versa, whatever it is. But you can put your child on when they're one as an authorized user. Obviously, they're one. What are they going to do? Spend money on your credit card? No, but you're building their credit history, right? These are just like little tips that I've learned, and now that I'm a mom, I'm like, well, I'm gonna get my kids credit, credit history 18 by the time he's 18. I'm going to have a 529 so that if he decides to go to, so he can use it for college. And if he doesn't, we can roll it over to a Roth when he starts working. Right. And like, I'm going to start employing him through my business and invest in a Roth for him at the age of 1 or 2 or 3, or whenever I get around to figuring that out. Right. So all of that is super important. That is one thing that I would tell myself is like, really familiarize yourself with investing, and because it's not that complicated. It's really not. It's fairly simple to get started. But that would be one thing that I would tell my younger self.
that is so amazing. You know what I'm going to do after this? I'm going to add my kids
You should.
to my credit card.
You should.
Um, and yeah, not even obviously tell them about it
Oh,
because I mean they're responsible. They're good guys. They're good kids, really good kids. So, but thank you so much, Mercedes. This has been just super invaluable. You're phenomenal, incredible. I'm going to leave everything in the show notes. Please check out Mercedes. I vouch for her, which I don't do. She is the bomb, personally and professionally. So thank you so much, Mercedes. And we're definitely going to have you back on.
oh, 1,000%. I am here, Cheryl, anytime you need me. And for everybody listening,